Failure is not always a mistake. It may simply be the best one can do under the circumstances. The real mistake is to stop trying. B.F. Skinner. My friends, that's great advice. Each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes, you will get better and better and better. It just takes a little bit of mileage, and it is so much fun along the way. I've loved every bit of learning how to trade over the last decade plus. And you will too if you'll just set your mind to it. 10 to 15 minutes, that's all we ask. Let's jump into these charts. Here's where we are for the week. S&P 500, as we start the day off, we have a prediction of bearish down movement, 70% probability. And as we see things as they start moving down, of course, we've got a support level of about $594. We're currently at, as we close the market today, 597.2, and we had almost a 0.5% down for the day. Now, what that means is that if we do push through that 594 mark, that would be our sell point. Now, what that means is, of course, you're shorting a stock, you would sell it, and then you would look to buy it back at a lower price so you can return the stock. We've talked about how things used to work. Well, of course, what we are looking at is where is that level of support, and once it's breached, how far down will it go? Well, you know, we are looking at about a $3 to $5 price move. If it punches below that level, we think it's about a 70% chance of doing that. Now, here's what's interesting is the resistance is at 601. So again, if we push up through that and we hit the 604 mark, that is where we've pushed through that resistance enough that when we hit that 604 mark, we plan to go long. Now, is that going to happen this week? In fact, I triggered, because of that support level, I currently have a buy at 594. If we don't push below that, I've been considering, I told you this on Friday, what I was up to, I was at first at 598, then I pulled that and put it down to 594, and I'm still debating whether I'm going to let the market open tomorrow, still buying to go long on that, or if I'm going to pull that tonight, and I'm leaning toward pulling that. But we shall continue. I'll let you know what I decide to do, but we can see, and again, we don't have much of a trend line. I mean, we could readjust our trend line as to where it is now and have ourselves well below it as far as where things have pushed through for the day as to where we started off these 2 days, both Friday and Monday, of big down movement. So again, like I said, we are bearish on the S&P 500 as well as the NASDAQ. Not quite as much with the NASDAQ. And again, we could redraw this trend line too to really build up that plunge. Look at the volume though. I haven't had average volume. We have to go all the way back to the beginning of February to find that with the doji. But as we look at where things are now, we had lots of volume Thursday and Friday of last week on that 2-day chart. And maybe we're a little above halfway there, it looks like. May hit that, down 1.18%. Now here's where we are, the numbers. And again, remember, if you're a subscriber at chartingwealth.com, we're putting this final summary grid there for you in the show notes. So if you're not a subscriber, go there, sign up for free. That list is never spam, never shared. And again, it is available, chartingwealth.com. So here's what we got. We're bearish. We've got support at the 518.22 mark. We're currently at 519.87. We have resistance at the 525 mark. Like I told you, we're about 65% probability of this bearish down move. We have a buy point at 526, sell point at 518. We're not too far away from that 518. We punched through that level. We're looking at a downstroke of around $4 to $6. So that's where we are on both of our stock indexes. Let's move on to 20-year U.S. government bonds. We are bullish on those. So we're bearish on stocks. We're bullish on gold and bonds. We are bearish on Bitcoin. So let's continue on with bonds. We see support at the 88.75 level. We see resistance at the $90.42 level. 60% probability of a bullish move. Those are not the kind of odds I like. I like them up around 75, 80%. We see a buy point at $90. We see our sell point at 88.50. So we got a little bit of ways to go before we punch through that. So keep your eye on the price. Again, not a huge move, maybe $1, $1.50 there. So not anything knocking it out of sight either on the probability or even the up move before we get some more resistance in the next 5 days. And again, this is that 5-day forecast. Now, what's up with gold? Gold, we are bullish on about a 75%, again, predicted move up. We have support at 269.45. We have resistance at 273.98. And again, we're already at 272. And you can see as things have slowed down in the up movement, we also see volume has slowed down over the last 3 weeks. Although, again, price ticked up nice. This is just the first day of the latest of the latest 5-day weekly candle. So we will keep an eye on gold. About a $2.50 to $4 move. So we'll keep an eye on gold as it continues to move along sell point. If it busts below 270, then of course we are looking for things to move down from there. It'll blow out some of those supports, but it looks like gold is just going to keep ticking along. Now, what's going on lastly with Bitcoin? We are bearish on Bitcoin going into the 4th week of down movement. Haven't hit the low of last week yet. We're not but pennies away from that. We see support at the 26.28 mark. We're currently at 26.57. We see resistance at the 27.11 mark. About a 60% probability of continued down movement. Again, the buy point 27.10, the sell point 26.20. We're already at 26.57. Not a lot of movement expected over the next 5 days, maybe 50 cents to $1. So we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin. What I'm waiting for is Bitcoin to, again, give us some nice, just clean down move, get a good bottom, get some good volume, which we don't have, haven't had. This is going into the 3rd week. Get a bottom there and then turn around and start to move up with a clean line of ascension. I keep waiting for Bitcoin to do that. And when it is clean with the volume, we shall ride that baby up. That is where we are right now, my friends. So appreciate you being with us. You have questions, problems, concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Again, best positions, gold and TLT. Those are the best long positions. Best short positions are the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and HODL. Strongest bullish setup is with gold, and the weakest are the S&P and the NASDAQ. Likely further downside. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.